Welcome back, Pristine Posse. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most frequently discussed topics that I have in my consultations, in my comments, in my lives, all of that, which is going to be all about being an older flight attendant and trying to become a flight attendant and you are older. So first things first, like the video, what you doing? Go ahead and get that out of the way. The number one question that I have been asked is how old is too old to be a flight attendant? Now, let's start with being an older flight attendant. We're gonna start that age at, for the sake of this video, no shade, no tea, we'll start at 40, okay? 40 and up, we're gonna say that is the older crowd. I would say 50, but we're gonna do 40 at the minimum. So 40 and up is gonna be the older crowd. And I will have people asking me, you know, is 65 too old? Is 50 too old? Yada, yada, yada. It's honestly less about how old you are and more so about, one, do you want to do this job? And two, are you fit for the job? And fit as in physically. Do you meet the height requirements? Are you able to carry items over 50 pounds? Are you able to follow instructions? Once you get a conditional job offer with any airline across the board, they will give you a series of tasks to complete that you have to do before you get to training, okay? A few of those things include a drug test. You will have to get all of your, vitals done, and you'll have to jump through hoops, basically. Literally, there's a jumping test, there's a hopping test, there's so many different tests that you have to complete to get checked off by a doctor to say that yes, this person is fit to do this job. So there are people who are younger than 40 who aren't able to complete all those things on that task. There are people who are older than 40 who aren't able to complete those tasks. And on the opposite end, there are people who can fulfill those tasks on both spectrums. So definitely let's take away from the age, because honestly, the age is just a number. It's more so, are you physically fit for this job? Okay, that's the most important thing. You definitely are not gonna be able to be a flight attendant and you need a walker, okay? Yeah. And that's not to say you're too old. You could be 40 with a walker. You're not fit for duty, okay? Wheelchair is not gonna work, okay? There are people who are 15, 16 who have hearing aids. That doesn't stop them from getting a job, working. In the same breath, if you're over 40 and you have a hearing aid, that's not gonna stop you from becoming a flight attendant. That is totally fine. Let's take a moment to talk about your competition, okay? So a lot of you guys who are older and are struggling with the interview process, you're getting turned down, you're making it through the video interview and things like that, but you're getting turned down and ultimately not getting the job. But let's put a little focus on your competition, okay? You may not be getting the job because your competition is young, okay? Being young has its perks with this job. Being that, number one, the young people are broke, okay? They need this job. They need it. They needed to pay the bills. They needed to go out to party. They needed to live, okay? They're broke. They're desperate for the job. Any company across the board loves someone who is desperate for the job. They'll do anything for it. You're hired, okay? Because we know we can work you. You'll be happy to work. We're gonna work you to the bone. You're young. You're fit. Let's work them to the bone, okay? So they're young, most likely fit, we'll say majority fit for duty, okay? The young people are very adaptable in that majority of them do not have a husband and children. So it's just themselves, so they're able to just pick up and move based on company needs. So those are just a few of the things that are different between your competition and you, right? However, I want you guys to just not worry about your competition. Yes, they're young, they're adaptable, they're flexible to do whatever they can because they don't have any responsibilities with themselves. However, when you're in an interview with these airlines, don't try to, hide the fact that you're older than your competition, okay? Highlight that. Make that the topic of the discussion. Your age is going to be what you bring to the table, okay? And let me break that down for you guys with number one. You have wisdom, okay? When you're older, and we're saying like 40 plus, all right? You've been around the block, you've experienced all walks of life, you have a higher sense of social awareness, you are able to interact with different people. When you interact with passengers or other coworkers, you've lived a life to where there's something in your lifetime where you can find a commonality with a passenger or a coworker to where you guys can create a small bond, Simple things like, oh, I have a cat, or oh, I have 2 daughters. There are passengers who come on board and it's a family of 4 and 5 and they're got a lot going on. I have no idea what it's like to raise a family. Now, assuming that you're older and you've already had a family, you know what it's like to travel with children. You can anticipate the needs of the passenger. You're able to have a little more grace with her because you know what the parents are going through. You'll be able to walk her through, okay, give them gum because their ears are gonna pop, this happened with my child, things like that. So you're able to build a bond with those passengers that you can relate to, and you'll have more opportunities throughout your life that you can pull from different things to say, oh yeah, I resonate with that, or that happened to me too, or just ways that you can build bonds with people because you have more life experience than a younger person. Your second pro that you can bring to the table is that you have patience, okay? I promise you, majority of people that are over 40 have way more patience than a 21, 22, 25-year-old, okay? You've been around the block, you've seen a lot more, and most importantly, you are slow to speak, okay? Slow to speak and non-reactive. When you're dealing with younger people, they may not have had a lot of customer service experience. They don't know how to deal with conflict. Whenever I see those videos online of flight attendants getting into arguments and fighting with passengers, it's like, okay, I always think about what the flight attendant could have done differently. They could have been slower to speak. They could have been non-reactive. They could have been more understanding that that passenger may be going through so many other things that we don't know, that maybe I don't need to have attitude with them. And being an older person, having more life experiences, you're gonna be able to have that discernment and have that professionalism that you're not going to entertain and be reactive in those situations. You're gonna be able to really think it through versus a younger person might go through a few rookie mistakes and argue with the passenger or have an attitude the entire flight over something that happened in the first 5 minutes of the flight. And now they have this bad energy that they're carrying on throughout the whole day. So highlight your patience. The third pointer that I want you guys to express to the people that are interviewing you is that you are truly committed to the job, okay? Many of you guys who are older, when we have our consultations, you guys are letting me know that you've already worked a job, you've retired from somewhere, or you just established yourself with a previous career and now you would like to do something a little more lighthearted, something that you've never got a chance to do, something more fun. A few of you guys have let me know that you guys are empty nesters, so you would love to take this opportunity to, be a flight attendant and travel and meet new people and something to occupy your time. So let the people who are interviewing you know that you're truly committed to this job because this is something that you're passionate about, okay? You don't need the job for money because you're already financially secure. So this is truly something that you want to do strictly out of passion. It's definitely a big difference when you're doing a job because you have to and because you have to pay bills versus because you want to and you're passionate about it, and every day doesn't feel like work, it feels like having fun. So let them know that this is truly something that you're passionate about. Also, be sure to let them know that you've done your research, okay? You've watched my channel, you've watched other flight attendants on YouTube, you're prepared for what's to come. Let them know that you've done your research. You've outweighed the pros and cons. This is really something you want to do, you're truly committed, and whether you want to do, let's say you want to do regional, because I'm with a regional airline, you can let them know that after doing your research, you wanted to do mainline, but you realize, you know what, regional is better for me. When you let them know that this is something that you want to do and you've done your research, it really makes you stand out from the other people and your competition, because younger people, when they join a regional airline, they're just getting their feet wet to go to mainline. So they don't even care. They're just kind of like saying what they have to say, doing whatever. They're like, maybe later, maybe in 2 or 3 years. But you're saying, no, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. I've done my research and I believe this is a good fit for me long term. So definitely say these things in your interview so that they can open their eyes and see why you're a good candidate and at your age. I hope you guys found these tips very helpful, and I hope that you can use them throughout your flight attendant interview process. Let me know if you have any questions or you want me to further expand on anything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.